The hunter stood on a rocky cliff as the last sunlight faded beyond an endless prehistoric forest. The trees stretched farther than the eye could see, hiding countless mysteries beneath their dark canopy. Slowly, he walked toward the towering trees while long shadows spread across the ground. Every step carried him closer to a place where daylight could no longer protect him. Standing beneath the ancient trees, he hesitated before moving forward. Thick roots twisted across the earth, while dense branches blocked the remaining sunlight. Nearby, the tribe hurried to gather dry wood before darkness arrived. Everyone knew that once night fell, fire would become their only protection. Without warning, the birds suddenly fell silent before flying away together. Their strange behavior made the hunter stop, sensing something had changed. As the sun disappeared completely, darkness swallowed the woodland. Massive trees became black silhouettes while cold mist covered the forest floor. A strong wind rushed through the towering branches, filling the air with rustling leaves. Even without seeing another creature, the forest somehow felt alive. Deep within the bushes, several glowing eyes suddenly appeared. The hunter couldn't see what they belonged to, but knew something was watching him. Instinctively, he tightened his grip on the stone spear. His heart raced as he stared into the darkness, waiting for whatever might emerge. Back at the campsite, the tribe gathered around a small campfire while the enormous forest surrounded them. Beyond the warm circle of light, endless darkness waited. Deep inside the forest, strange sounds echoed between the ancient trees. Every distant rustle reminded the hunter unseen creatures were awake. High above, enormous owls watched silently from twisted branches. Their glowing eyes followed the hunter's every movement. Soon, the haunting howls of wolves echoed through the darkness. Hidden among the trees, the predators claimed the forest after sunset. A giant dead tree suddenly swayed as loud cracking sounds echoed through the night. The hunter froze, unable to tell what had caused the movement. Then, a pair of enormous glowing eyes appeared from complete darkness. Whatever creature owned them refused to reveal itself. The hunter stood completely still, barely daring to breathe. Sweat rolled down his face as he waited for the unseen predator. Behind the thick bushes, the shadow of a massive predator slowly moved beneath the moonlight. Its enormous size alone terrified anyone nearby. Heavy footsteps shook the forest floor one after another. Something enormous was approaching, yet the hunter still couldn't see it. Without warning, every sound suddenly disappeared. The forest became unnaturally silent, making the hunter wonder if the predator was watching him. Back at the campsite, the tribe sat quietly around the glowing fire, listening to every sound from the dark forest. They knew the night had only just begun. The hunter noticed a massive cave lion hiding among the tall grass. Only its glowing eyes and part of its body were visible as it silently watched from the shadows. Nearby, a pack of wolves surrounded a frightened deer with perfect coordination. Hidden behind a tree, the hunter witnessed how deadly teamwork ruled the forest. Kneeling beside enormous footprints pressed into the mud, the hunter realized a huge predator had passed through only moments before. Several ancient trees were covered with deep claw marks. Placing his hand beside them, the hunter understood no human could match the creature's strength. Scattered bones covered the forest floor beneath towering trees. The silent remains warned that this place belonged to powerful hunters. Fresh claw marks covered a fallen tree, while broken branches pointed deeper into the woods. Every sign suggested a predator was still nearby. Without warning, a prehistoric leopard leaped between giant branches overhead. Leaves rained down as the hunter instinctively raised his spear. The hunter quietly led the tribe backward through the forest. Every careful step helped them avoid unseen predators. A bright campfire burned in the center of the campsite, while glowing eyes surrounded it from the darkness. None of the predators dared cross the firelight. As night covered the forest, predators silently hunted beneath the trees while the tiny human camp glowed in the distance. After sunset, the forest belonged to its hunters. The hunter stood deep inside the endless forest where every towering tree looked exactly the same. No matter which direction he looked, nothing seemed familiar. Turning in circles, he searched for a landmark, but every path disappeared among identical trees and thick undergrowth. Confusion quickly replaced confidence. A heavy blanket of fog rolled between the ancient trees, hiding the forest one section at a time. Soon, The hunter could barely see a few steps ahead. Night fell completely as moonlight struggled to reach the forest floor. Surrounded by darkness, the hunter carefully felt his way forward. Several tribe members entered the forest carrying burning torches, hoping to find the missing hunter before it was too late. Strange echoes bounced through the trees from every direction. The hunter could no longer tell where the sounds came from. Fear took over as he began running through the endless forest, pushing aside branches while desperately searching for a way out. Heavy rain poured across the woodland, washing away every footprint in the mud. The trail home disappeared before his eyes. At last, the first rays of sunrise broke through the trees. Far ahead, the edge of the forest finally appeared, bringing hope. The exhausted hunter stepped safely out of the forest and reunited with the waiting tribe. Looking back at the towering trees, everyone understood how easily the dark forest could swallow anyone who entered alone. The tribe gathered dry branches as the hunter struck two stones together. Tiny sparks appeared, bringing hope against the approaching darkness. A blazing campfire lit up the campsite while glowing predator eyes remained hidden beyond its warm circle. None dared step closer. Bright sparks floated into the night sky as thick smoke drifted above the ancient trees. For the first time, darkness no longer seemed unstoppable. Several children slept peacefully beside the warm fire while adults remained awake on guard. Beyond the light, the forest stayed silent and watchful. Holding burning torches, the hunter and his companions carefully entered the dark forest. Their flickering flames revealed dangers hidden only moments before. A cave lion slowly backed away from the bright torch while wolves disappeared into the shadows. Even the fiercest predators feared fire. Several campfires surrounded the campsite, forming a glowing barrier against the endless darkness. The tribe rested safely inside their circle of light. The hunter walked confidently through the forest with a blazing torch raised high. Ancient trees and hidden paths became visible in the warm light. Standing beside the roaring fire, the hunter looked calmly toward the forest. The darkness no longer controlled his every thought. As stars filled the sky, the tribe gathered around blazing campfires deep within the wilderness. Fire had become humanity's greatest weapon against the dark forest. The hunter knelt beside fresh animal tracks pressed into the soft ground. Each footprint revealed another lesson about surviving in the wilderness. Walking carefully through the forest, he noticed broken branches and bent plants left behind by passing animals. Nature itself pointed the way. Suddenly, colorful birds burst into the sky in panic. The hunter stopped immediately, knowing they often warned of nearby predators. Fresh deer tracks crossed the footprints of a large predator. Reading the ground carefully, the hunter understood exactly what had happened. Closing his eyes, the hunter felt the wind and breathed deeply. Even the scent carried through the forest could reveal hidden danger. Climbing a giant tree, he looked across the endless forest from high above. Rivers, clearings, and animal trails became easy to recognize. The tribe gathered around an experienced elder who pointed toward rivers, giant trees, and rocky hills. These landmarks became their natural map. Following a familiar trail, the hunter moved confidently through the forest. He no longer feared becoming lost among the endless trees. The hunter walked calmly through the once-feared wilderness while distant predators remained hidden in the shadows. Knowledge had replaced fear. Standing on a high cliff at sunrise, the hunter looked across the endless forest with confidence. The wilderness had not changed, but humanity had learned how to understand it. At sunrise, the hunter confidently led several tribe members deeper into the forest than ever before. Fear no longer stopped them from exploring the unknown. Using a sharp stone tool, he carved simple symbols into the bark of giant trees. These marks would guide future travelers safely home. Deep inside a peaceful clearing, the tribe built a small shelter from branches and animal hides. The forest was becoming a place to live, not just survive. Standing atop a rocky hill, the hunter studied rivers, clearings, and distant mountains. Every journey began with understanding the land. Hidden beneath the dense canopy, the tribe discovered wild berries, mushrooms, and fresh water. The forest rewarded those who learned its secrets. Following a winding river, the hunter guided the tribe safely through the wilderness. Nature itself provided the safest path forward. Fresh predator tracks appeared near a dark valley. Instead of taking risks, the hunter calmly led everyone along a safer route. Children, hunters, and elders walked confidently beneath the towering trees. The once feared forest had become part of their everyday lives. Kneeling beside rare flowers and unusual plants, the hunter admired the beauty hidden within the wilderness. Curiosity was replacing fear. Standing on a giant fallen tree, the hunter watched his tribe explore the endless forest with confidence. Humanity had become the forest's newest explorer. The hunter stood quietly at the forest's edge as the rising sun filled the ancient trees with golden light. The darkness that once inspired fear was gone. Young tribe members followed the experienced hunter through the forest, learning to recognize tracks, landmarks, and signs of danger. Around a glowing campfire, an elder shared stories about surviving the forest. Each generation passed its knowledge to the next. The tribe followed well-marked trails carved into trees and marked with stone piles. Experience had transformed the wilderness into familiar ground. Beside a quiet stream, families peacefully gathered berries while deer grazed nearby. Humans and nature had learned to coexist. From a high cliff, the hunter spotted smoke rising from distant tribal camps hidden among the trees. People were spreading deeper into the forest. Across the vast wilderness, humans and wild animals shared the same ancient landscape. Every creature had found its place beneath the towering canopy. The hunter gently placed his hand against the rough bark of a giant tree. What once frightened him had earned his respect. As the sun slowly set beyond the endless forest, the tribe watched the peaceful twilight together. Darkness no longer meant certain danger. Standing high above the forest at sunrise, the hunter smiled as his tribe began another journey into the wilderness. The forest had never become safer. Humans had simply become wiser, braver, and learned how to live within it.